Hey there, and welcome back to Plat Pursuit. It's Hunted here with you, and today we are rounding out the original Uncharted trilogy with Uncharted 3: Drake's Deception. As always, this guide will take you from the start to the platinum in as short amount of time as possible, while avoiding spoilers and allowing you to discover the game on your own. By the end of the guide, we'll have all 100 treasures, the strange relic, and all the speedrun and miscellaneous trophies in between. Now, before we begin, if you enjoy this content, please be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Your support really helps us to continue to put these guides together, and we're growing closer and closer to 2,000 subs we couldn't do without you. Also, if you're looking for a cool new way to track your trophies, head over to www.platpursuit.com and check us out. Now, if you've been following our Uncharted series guides up to this point, you'll be unsurprised to learn that the third game in the Remastered collection is very similar to the first two. The majority of this guide will consist of collecting the 101 different treasures scattered across the levels, with combat and other miscellaneous trophies mixed in where needed. As with the first two, we'll want to make sure our main playthrough is on crushing, as doing so without changing the difficulty will pop all 4 difficulty-related trophies once we hit the ending. Every trophy in the game is unmissable, as there is a chapter select after beating it for the first time, but you'll want to follow along to save yourself some time along the way. The main difference between Uncharted 3 and the other two in the collection, as far as trophies are concerned, is the inability to give yourself weapons in the post-game. You'll have to find them in their natural spawn points and farm the kills with them from there. With all that being said, we are ready to dive headfirst into the final game in the collection, so let's get started. Hello and welcome to Uncharted 3: Drake's Deception. As with the first two, there's really not much to do here at the menu. Go ahead and select Options, Game, and enable the photo mode for a trophy early on. All we really need to worry about is starting a new game on Crushing. So go ahead and select a new game, Campaign Mode, select Crushing. And if you've been following along with the first two guides, you'll know I don't have to explain this to you. You need to play through the game on Crushing, don't change the difficulty, and you'll pop all 4 of the difficulty trophies all at once. Okay, after the fight scene in Chapter 1, before you leave the bar, make sure you head over to this arcade machine, as there is the first treasure of the game right here. And then from this treasure, you're going to head back to the bar. Again, don't exit out yet. Go back here, search the bar, and you will find another treasure sitting right here on the shelf. Here we are in Chapter 2. As soon as you start, just head straight on. And in the barrel of the third cannon right here is the first treasure of the area. From the cannon, head straight forward, and before you head up the stairs to get to the next level of the museum, there's a little room off to the right.
Not here.
And behind this vase, or behind the plant right there, is another treasure. Once you're outside of the museum, you can head straight, kind of come around this way between the car and under the arch, and sitting right in front of the doorway is another treasure. Keep following the path. Eventually you'll make it to this market. You'll just want to head straight forward and sort of towards that meat market area right there. Before you head into it, though, turn to the right and buy these jars. Sitting here on the shelf is another treasure. And while you're outside, now that we're not in the museum, if you hit down on the D-pad, you'll open up the photo mode. That will give you a trophy, so check that off your list. And then before you head back to the regular gameplay, come into Options, down through Game, and turn this back off so you're not accidentally enabling it when you're switching weapons later. Alright, back on the treasure hunt. Before you head into the meat market, turn left here. You're going to walk down a little ways. You'll make a left across from, I guess, the cafe or the hotel. Right here on these stairs. Climb up towards the top and you can see treasure there. Keep moving forward. Eventually, you'll find yourself up here. You'll have swung from that little yellow pipe right there on the wall. You're on this balcony. Head forward. And all the way at the end is another treasure. Pretty quickly along, you'll find yourself on the roof of this hotel. You can see the sign right here. Jump over to it.
Oh, who's your friend?
And as you climb up, the final treasure of the chapter is right here in the O. Here in Chapter 3, make your way to the museum entrance. And you'll swing across onto this roof here.
Oh, that was close.
Now, before you head into the museum, run around to the left. Drop down. And you can use this yellow pipe to help you climb down. Jump over the railing. Oop, don't jump up the railing. Jump over the railing. And then grab the treasure right here on the ground. As soon as you enter the museum, look to your left, and this diving suit has the treasure. And from this diving suit, turn around, head over this way, and next to this thing is another treasure. Okay, now in Chapter 4, as soon as you enter into this alley, go ahead and jump over this bar, turn to the right, and there's a treasure here in the corner. Once you find your way into this warehouse, you're going to jump across over to this yellow pipe. What you're supposed to do is drop down here and into these windows, and then over to the other side. But first, before we do that, shimmy across the yellow pipe to the right. And on this floor is another treasure. Then, once you've made it down to the floor of the warehouse, head over to this corner with the large pile of boxes. Climb up towards the top and grab the treasure. Move through the facility and you'll come to this generator-looking room and encounter the first enemies of the game. After you take them out, head around to the right side of this generator and pick up the treasure on the ground. Just a bit further and you'll come to this sort of cylinder-like structure that you have to climb downwards. Before you climb down, jump across over to this pipe. Grab onto this one and pull yourself up. And at the top, you should be able to jump across. There we go, over to this one. And there is the relic of the game. Once you've grabbed the relic, start heading down the container. Drop down to this. Keep going. And make the leap across to the left.
Careful, it's slippery.
And in this grate is another treasure. And for the final treasure of the chapter, you'll make your way into this big circular room. You need to go up there and grab this lever to move on. Do that from coming up here, but before you head up to that lever, you head to the left, jump up this way, and grab the treasure sitting on the wall. Here we are now in Chapter 5, a little bit of a ways in. You'll wind up in this library. After you take out the guards, look up here. You should see a lion's head and the elephant's head, but you're going to want to climb up the painting to the left of the lion, jump up to this ledge, and there's a treasure up here to grab. Continue pushing your way forward until you can exit the library. As you're leaving, before you go down in the tunnel, you'll want to head to the right and up these stairs. We're kind of circling back to the top of the library. And now you'll want to head all the way around, and underneath this display cabinet here in the center is another treasure.
Damn ambush! Cover me! You got it.
As you backtrack through the train station fighting enemies along the way, you'll kill an enemy with the first weapon of the game that we need to farm kills on, the Cal 7. In Uncharted 3, you only need 30 kills with every farmable weapon. There's no weapons that require 50 kills like the first two. So every weapon that we're going to talk about requires 30 kills, including the Cal 7. So go ahead and start getting to work on those. So as you're backtracking through the train section, now that we have a weapon, we can stop here at this train car, jump up onto it, and if you look up to the left, you can shoot down the treasure and grab it. Keep pushing ahead. Eventually, you'll reach the North Atwood train station. After you take out the enemies in the area, we can grab the final treasure, which is right around this train car here underneath the train. Here we are in Chapter 6. When you reach this river, head to the right and just follow the river all the way down. You'll eventually reach the cave, and in the cave is the treasure. Move forward in the forest and you'll come across this statue of the man with the flute. And you can come up here, jump on this, and head up the pathway, and right behind this wall is another treasure. Continue through the chapter until you get to the part where you're climbing the building to get inside. You're meant to go in through the hole in the wall right here, but before you do that, you can continue to the right. And then once you reach the top, go ahead, jump in through the window, and the treasure's right here on the ground. Keep moving through the castle. Eventually, you'll come to this window, and there'll be a small cutscene where you sort of see the tower in the distance here. And after that cutscene plays, what you're meant to do is to jump out this window here to continue moving forward. Before you do that, though, head behind these stairs, and at the end of this little hallway is another treasure. Not too long after, you'll enter this room where there are the statues kind of dotted around. As soon as you enter, you'll see the fireplace with the symbol over top of it. Head to the left of this symbol into this little adjacent room, and there is a treasure up here for you to shoot down and grab. Now, as soon as you find yourself in this underground cavern, head down the path to the right. Right behind this rock formation is another treasure. Once you encounter this area here with enemies in it, you'll have to take them out. Some of them, let me see if I can find one, should be carrying this, the arm micro.
Yes.
This is another weapon that we need to get 30 kills with. It is very similar to the micro 9mm from the first two games, so try to use that as you can. Keep moving through the area. You will eventually come across this grenade box with a little bit of a grenade tutorial. As with the previous two games, the grenades also require 30 kills. And after you do that little tutorial, you can drop down here, and once you're on the ground, head over to the left, and in this corner is another treasure. After you reunite with Sully, there will be a door that the two of you will bust down. After you break the door, you can head either down the stairs or drop down the hole to continue forward. But before you do that, head around this corner, and there's some handholds over here to jump up to the upper level. And you can take this across, slowly but surely, and use this wooden beam to get across the upper part over to grab the treasure. Once you jump down and you solve a little bit of a puzzle, you'll open this door, and this door leads into this laboratory area. Head into this main room, look all the way up, and there's the final treasure of the chapter to grab. All right, it looks like my treasure glitched out. That's awesome. So let's go ahead and restart the checkpoint.
Want to give us some light?
Sure.
There we go. This time it landed on the ground, and we can pick it up.
Ooh.
Okay, here we are in Chapter 7. We've got one treasure to grab here in this chapter. So when you pull down this floor for Sully to use as a ramp up this way, before you head forward to the rest of the level, turn around, and you can jump from this ramp up to here. And all you got to do is run across, and the treasure is right here. Here we are now in Chapter 8. You're going to pass under this arch and make your way down the pathway. As soon as you get to this wall, you'll go ahead and hop over it. Then you'll just need to do a little bit of climbing, so climb down here. Jump across. Drop down, and you can see it on the ledge below. Go ahead and grab the treasure. A little bit further along now, and you'll make your way across this drawbridge. Once you get here, you'll have to shoot off this lock to get through the area, but before you do that, head over to the left right here, and if you look all the way up on top, you can see there's a treasure to knock down. Go do that and grab it. Now, once you've unlocked the door, you'll have to open this one as well. As soon as you make your way in, turn to the right, and there's a treasure on the statue. Now, once you find yourself down in the bottom of this well, there'll be some enemies in this area. Go ahead and take them out. Climb up this way. And then once you're here, head forward, turn left, right, and sort of in this back area is another treasure. Just a bit farther forward, you'll make your way out of the well, and there'll be two doors. You'll see there's a lock on each door. You have to shoot Sully's. He'll shoot yours. You'll make your way out of the door. Before you go forward, turn around. Up here is another treasure for you to knock down, and head on over to grab that.
Chloe and Cutter could be in real trouble.
Where the hell could they be?
If you keep moving through the level, you'll eventually find this Gmal. It's very similar to the FAL from Uncharted 2. You can hit R3 for the red dot sight, zoom in, things like that. We need 30 kills with this weapon, so go ahead and use it. Keep moving forward, and eventually you'll find yourself in this big circular tower. You'll have come through this gate. And after you do that, before you head up any stairs or anything, run around the side, and right here in the window is the treasure. Once you get to this area where you're dodging rockets, you'll find the dragon sniper for the first time in this game. And we need 30 kills with this weapon as well, so go ahead and get used to that. All right, after quite a while here in the chapter, sort of right at the end, you're going to enter into this tower via the hole that was just created in it. Once you do that, turn to the right, and there is the final treasure of the chapter right here on the ground. Here we are in Chapter 9. You're going to make your way through until you reach this room with the globe. Once you do, turn to the left, head around sort of the perimeter of the area, and right here is the treasure. All right, keep moving through the chapter. Eventually, you will get to this part where you have now activated the water. And what you're going to want to do, the easiest way to do this is to let the water fill. And once it is full, you'll want to jump in. And if you look up here, there's a treasure. Now, you kind of want to sit underneath of it, aim upwards, and snipe it, and then get ready to press triangle to catch it as it falls. And there you go. Now we can keep moving forward. Okay, so after the globe, you will make your way up a long spiral staircase. When you come out of it, if you walk too far forward, you'll get a cutscene. It's fine. I did it on accident just now. You can still get the treasure afterward. But before you get the cutscene, head over this way, and in this wall by the skeletons is the final treasure of the chapter. There we go.
It's an ambush.
Here we are in chapter 10. You're going to follow the path until the gate is opened for you. But before you go through that gate, right here at the stand, make a left. And in the back left corner is another treasure. Keep following on the path here, and you're going to come across this stand area. Before you move forward into that, you'll turn right after you come down the stairs. And in this fountain, there is a treasure off to the right. Go ahead and grab that. Keep moving forward. Eventually, this gate will be unlocked for you by one of the shopkeepers. And head up the stairs. And once you make it to the top of the stairs, head over towards this cactus area. You can see there is a treasure right here on this little raised section. Not too long after, you'll find yourself in this building with the red carpet. Head up the stairs. Turn the corner right here, and in the back by the sofa is another treasure. All right, so pretty soon after the last treasure, you'll find yourself in a fight scene in this marketplace. What we need to do is we need to hit 3 agents with a fish, and you can see the fish over there. Let me see if I can get there without taking too much damage. You can see the fish on the table. If you just stand by one of them, he will automatically pick up the fish and use it. Hang on, let's see if we can't grab the fish. There we go. I actually got a different trophy for Bare Knuckle Slugger. But what you need to do is you need to hit 3 agents with fish. So it's, you can't do it to the brutes, but you can do it to these agents. Let me see if I can get one more. Should be able to use this fish, maybe not. There it is. Okay, so after a little bit of finickiness, it should work for you. After that fight is over, you'll walk out this door, and if you search along the right side wall here in this corner is another treasure. After you grab that one, turn and head towards these stairs, which you'll run down, and before you follow them through, turn around, and there's another one on the ground here. Immediately after you grab this treasure, you can turn here, jump up this ledge, and there's another treasure right behind these boxes. Make sure you grab this before you run down this alleyway or the chapter will end. Okay, here we are in chapter 11. Right at the very start, you will need to go down into the well, drop down in here, and make sure as you go down that you don't drop all the way down to the ground, because then you won't be able to grab the treasure. What you're going to need to do is like so. Come around the outside and grab the treasure here, and then once you grab it, then you can drop down. After a little bit of puzzle solving, you'll find yourself in this long hallway. As you're running through, immediately when the first door you go through after these two lanterns, the room sort of looks like this. It has that nice, almost looks like a disco ball at the end of it. If you turn to the left, immediately going through the door, there is the treasure here on the ground. So once you move into that room we were heading towards, you will see that you have two paths you can choose. Eventually you'll be doing both of them, so it doesn't really matter which one you pick. However, I went to the left first, and we are now in this room with the gear puzzle that we need to do. Once you're in this room, however, turn around, you can jump over this fence, and if you come back into this corner right behind this column, there is another treasure on the ground. After you finish the gear puzzle, you'll want to come into this room with another puzzle with all the body parts all over the room. After you come into this room, head down the stairs and turn left. And in the corner is another treasure. Now, after you've grabbed this treasure, we have another one we can get, but it's a little bit more complicated. So you're going to come up to this thing in the middle of the room, which is this staff. And after a little bit of a cutscene showing you lighting the lantern from the main image here, if you look to the right, just about 90-degree turn, and then you look up at the ceiling, and after that happens, you'll see the treasure will fall. All you need to do is plant this in the ground somewhere and grab the treasure.
Okay, that didn't work.
All right, here we are in a bit of a fight scene now. You'll kill an enemy or two that has the SAS-12. You need to get 30 kills with this weapon, just like all the other ones, so go ahead and use that. Once you're out of the well, you'll head into this marketplace area again. You'll want to hang a right first and walk down this pathway. You can see there's a treasure there at the dead end. Walk over to it and grab it. After you walk down there and grab that treasure, head back the way you came. Go towards the fountain. And then head to the right side here, and there is a treasure sitting on this bench. Go ahead and grab that. And then from this treasure, turn around, and it's really important that you don't go near Sully and Elena here. So kind of just work your way around this fountain, stay as far away from them as you can, and then head underneath this tented area, and there is a treasure right here to grab. So after a pretty long section with some dialogue and a cutscene, there'll be a chase section. After the chase section ends, you'll see yourself here. You're supposed to head into the crowd to continue forward. Before you do that, though, turn to the right, go up these stairs, jump, or I guess you don't have to jump, but head into this corner, and this is the last treasure of the chapter. Here we are in Chapter 12. After the initial combat, you'll be here in this room. Turn to the right, and there's a ladder here to carry you up to the top of this blue crate. And once you get on top of the ladder, you'll continue across. And here in the corner is another treasure. So as you keep moving, you'll eventually reach this doors, has the big exit sign over top of it. Before you head out of this area, turn around, and in this small little room right here is another treasure. So while you're here in the boat section, if you drop down from where you come in, there's actually a guard up here. If you kill him without the stealth, like if you just shoot him, he will drop this pistol. It's called the Tua Sniper. We need 30 kills with this weapon. This is obviously not the only place in the game you'll find it, but you can get started working on kills with this. Other enemies in this area have it too, so it's not just from this guy, but If you want an easy way to get it, there you go. All right, here we are in this boat section now. I've cleaned out the area of enemies, so you'll probably need to do the same. But what you can do to get a treasure, as soon as you enter the area, if you head across here, and of course you can swim over to this as well, you don't have to take the platforms. But there is a hole right here in this side wall, which you can swim into, and then climb up this way. There's actually a grenade launcher up here too to help you fight if you want to use that. But before you go forward, turn around, jump across this gap, and there's a treasure sitting right here in the window. So now we're in this ship climbing section where we have this sort of derelict ship that we're climbing through. Before we head up and around, though, if you look over this way, there is a treasure for us to grab. And this one is very, very awkward. I don't know why this is so difficult, but Nate loves to just fall off these beams as you're jumping across them. The first two are usually pretty fine, but you're going to want to do the rest with speed, essentially. So what I recommend you do is you jump, or you move all the way to the right of this beam, aim sort of to the right of that beam and tap X, and then as soon as possible, jump from this beam to that beam. Nate loves to just not stay on this beam and fall off. So we'll see if we can do it. Jump across, and then as soon as you can, jump over to this one, grab the treasure, and even if you were to fall off, as long as you grab the treasure here, it doesn't matter. And we can keep moving forward. All right, after quite a long section of climbing and fighting some enemies, you'll make it to the very top of this boat. The radio tower is right there. Now what you're going to want to do is to come over here. This is the way that we need to go. To jump across to this and grab this rope. Now, before you grab the rope, or before you jump off of the rope, I should say, stop swinging, pull yourself all the way up, and you can jump up into here. And inside this room is a treasure on the ground. Now, from this treasure, we are going to get back on that rope, which you can do by just climbing over this ladder. Or over the ladder, over the window sill there. And go ahead, do your momentum here on the rope. And once you've got enough, you can leap across and climb up into this platform. Now, before you continue forward,
Nice.
As you can
Ramsey's ship.
see, before you continue into that section, drop off the ledge right here. And down just a little ways is another treasure for you. After you enter the radio tower, before you take this zip line down, make sure that you head over to this corner and grab the last treasure of the chapter. Here we are right at the start of chapter 13. You kind of enter the area from this section. I've taken out some of the guards in the area, but what you're going to want to do is from the start, you'll want to head over to the right. And if you come around this way, kind of jump across to this platform here, and in the corner is a treasure for you to grab. So from this treasure, you'll turn left and head this way. You want to run across this, kind of by this big red crane. Keep going, and then inside of the container here is another treasure. And for the last treasure, you'll see you have to lower this bridge to get over to that boat. Before you do that, head to the right of it and turn the corner here, and the final treasure is right here on the ground. Welcome to Chapter 14. As soon as you arrive on the boat, you're going to head down the hallway here. Or you head up the stairs, turn left. In this corner is the first treasure of the chapter. Pretty quickly after, you'll come across this lifeboat hanging off the side of the ship. If you head straight on from that lifeboat and you turn the corner, there's sort of a dead end here with a treasure. Alright, so once you get here in this sort of container area, you're going to come across the first enemy in the game with this machine gun, this Pack 80. Once you take him out, you can pick this up, and this will be a weapon that we also need 30 kills for, so go ahead and use that as much as you can. Keep on moving forward. So in that same area where you fight the machine gun guy, and you can pick up his machine gun, there is another treasure. Once you clear out all of the enemies, jump up here onto this crate, and then up onto this yellow one, and in the back here is a treasure for you to grab. So pretty much immediately after that, you'll come through this red door. Once you do that, what you're going to want to do is take a quick dip in this pool here, and you can get a trophy for it. Once you've gotten that trophy from the pool, before you head in through the rotating door there, you will want to come all the way to the left side in this little corner, and there's a treasure on the ground somewhere. There it is. All right, here we are a little bit further in this large ballroom area. There will be a bunch of enemies here. After you take all of them out, this door will swing open, and you'll be able to go through. You'll want to go to the left to continue, but we're going to head to the right around this corner, and there's treasure on the ground for you. And now from this treasure, we're going to want to turn around, head down this hallway.
Gotta get down to the hold. Find Sully.
Now we'll be a little careful. There's enemies right here. We're going to go ahead and skip them. And all the way in the back right here on the ground is another treasure. And after we grab this treasure, turn around, head through to the area where you're supposed to go. Take the first left and then a right. There will be an enemy here by the bar. Go ahead and take him out. And then behind the bar is another treasure. Now, once you reach these stairs, you'll be able to just walk down them normally. We have to go through that door on the right to continue. But before we do that, swing around this pillar, keep going, and then in the corner under the stairs is another treasure. And as soon as you grab that treasure, you can continue going through the door into this red area. This will be the last treasure of the chapter. You want to make sure you grab this before you jump down that ledge in front of us. We'll come here, turn left, and then here in the corner is the last treasure. All right, here we are in chapter 15. We're climbing through this area. It's kind of like a vertical climbing section. We get up to it from this door. It's kind of hard to explain. You'll know where you're at when you get to this part. So climb up this door. You'll be right here on the ledge. Make sure you jump over into this bathroom area and grab this treasure. It's the only one of chapter 15, so make sure you get it. Here in chapter 16, as soon as you come through the first door with Elena, we're going to want to head to the right and try to climb on top of these boxes. Tell there's sort of a nice stack right here. Once you get to the top, there will be a treasure for you to grab on top of it. Now, once you take out the enemies in this area, you'll have come down through one of the skylights. Before you move forward with the truck, head to the far back left corner. And, whoops, you don't have to climb up there, but you can climb up on this box and grab the treasure. So after you push this car through the gate here, you'll be able to jump into this next warehouse by coming inside here. And once you're on the ground in here, turn left behind this sort of car area. There is the final treasure of the chapter. In this big area with all of the cargo containers and you're supposed to sneak your way through, there are sub-enemies that will drop this T-bolt sniper, which I just grabbed here. I think you do have to stealth kill them for them to drop it, though. Either way, if you find one, we need 30 kills with this weapon, so if you get a chance to use it, go ahead and do that. So here in Chapter 18, there is only one trophy. You'll come across this well right here. All you need to do is kind of knock over this pot, and the treasure is on the other side of it, so go ahead and grab that. Here we are at the beginning of Chapter 19. You'll have this gate in front of you. You can see there's a treasure to the left, so go ahead and grab this one. Pretty soon after, you'll kind of come in through the floor up at the top there. Once you're in this room, before you head forward, just turn 90 degrees to the right, and there's a treasure on the ground. So you'll climb out of the well down here, and once you are out of it, head straight through this doorway, and then through this one. Then if you turn around, you can see another treasure on the ground. So pretty quickly into the chapter, you're going to start fighting enemies. And when you kill them, you'll see they'll drop this M9. It's a new gun for us to use. We need 30 kills with this weapon, so go ahead and start working on those.
That's too close.
Keep moving farther into the level, and you'll kind of be trapped in this pit. Like an enemy will shoot out the ground beneath you, and you'll be down here. Grab this treasure in the corner before you move forward. Okay, so after escaping the pit, you'll head up these stairs, and you'll need to go up there to continue the level. Before you do that, turn to the left. Behind this, there's actually a Mag 5 here if you want that, but more importantly, there is a treasure.
Oh, great.
Pretty quickly afterwards, you'll come to this area where there's a pretty large shootout with a bunch of enemies. After you clear everyone out, you'll want to keep moving forward, obviously through there, to continue your journey. What you're going to want to do first is to jump up here, and there's a small little hidden area with a treasure right to the left. After you grab that last treasure, you'll go the direction that you need to and squeeze through this wall right here. You'll come out on this side. Just go ahead and jump over this wall. And before you go to the left, turn right. And here in the corner is another treasure. And now the final treasure of this chapter comes right at the end here where you need to blow open this gate. There's that Jeep up there. Before you do that, head to the right side, kind of come around this area, and in the corner is this final treasure. All right, here we are in Chapter 20. After quite a while, a whole lot of stuff happens. You'll be in a fight, in a dust storm, and everything like that. After that is done, you'll find yourself in this building. As soon as you enter the building through these big doors, turn left, and you can grab the first treasure of the chapter. So once you're in this big room, you'll climb up the ladder right here on the right side of the room when you come in, sort of to the right of this door. Sully will tell you to go across the way. All you have to do for this next treasure is jump across to this chandelier, and around on the other side is this treasure. So after you grab the treasure from the chandelier, the last one of the chapter is actually right here. All you gotta do is climb onto this thing, and you're gonna drop down instead of go up for the moment. And right here on the ground is the final treasure. So at the start of chapter 21, you get this really awesome view of the city. Head down the stairs. You're meant to go right to continue on. We're going to go left first. And right here at the bottom of this broken staircase is a treasure. From the last treasure, we're going to go over to the right to head down these stairs. And halfway down, go ahead and jump across into here, and there's another treasure on the ground. Keep moving forward, and you'll come to this area where you get your first sort of combat encounter of the section. After the enemies are all killed, you can head over to the right and up into this blue structure. And if you kind of come along these stairs here, stay towards the top, and up top is another treasure. Alright, so this next part is kind of weird. After a little bit of like a chase scene and some hallucinations, you're gonna be here at the bottom of this elevator in this like drug-induced sort of haze. Before you move forward, turn around, come back this way. There's treasure on the ground here. Make sure you pick this up before you keep going. So grab this first. Alright, and then after you wake up from your hallucinations, you'll be in this pool. What you'll want to do is head up and out and kind of stick to the left side here, as there's a treasure in the gap, the final one of chapter 21. Alright, here we are in chapter 22. We've got 2 treasures left to grab. Right at the very beginning of the chapter, you'll kind of like look over the edge and see enemies and things down this way. Before you continue, turn around, and behind this pillar is the penultimate treasure.
Oh, shit.
And for the final chapter, you're going to make your way down here into this big open area where there's a door that you come through, or you drop down through there, and there's water down this way. The final treasure of the area you're just going to move through. Not even just the final treasure of the area, final treasure of the game. You're going to move through. These are the stairs you're meant to go up to continue. Before you do that, head over here. And here is the 100th treasure on the ground. Go ahead and grab that. And we are very close to the platinum. Well, there we are. Out of the interest of spoilers, I didn't want to show me popping the trophies because there was some story stuff happening. But that is Uncharted 3 done on rushing. You should have popped all 4 of the difficulty trophies. And now all that remains is for us to clean up the rest of the plat. So I will see you there. Okay, so here we are back at the main menu. We're going to go ahead and do the speed runs like we normally would, or like we have in the first 2 guides. To start, we're going to go down to chapters. We're going to select chapter 7, and you're just going to change it down to easy. Make sure you select practice speedrun, and we have 9 minutes 30 seconds to get through this one. The majority of the speedrun is just platforming, so really it kind of comes down to knowing where to go. There's a tiny bit of combat, but you should be able to do it pretty easily if you're aggressive. Remember that if you die or if you need to, you can always hit restart checkpoint to get your time back. so you can keep going without having to do a full restart of the speedrun. But anyway, I will show you my time at the end of this, and then we can keep moving forward. If you watch the first two guides, you know what I'm about to say. Make sure that you always save new game data here. You don't want to override your save, or you're going to lose your chapter select. So make sure you hit new game and save it that way. Alright, so there we go. I did it in 9 minutes, 26 seconds. If you're having trouble with this, I would just recommend making sure that you really know where to go during the combat encounters, and you can just straight up run through most of them. You don't really have to take out all of the enemies in every area, so just know that, and it is pretty tight, but a couple of tries you should be able to get it. Alright, so the next one we need to do is chapter 16, so come on over here. Again, easy, make sure you do practice speedrun, and we can go ahead and get started with this one. We need to do it in under 12 minutes. There is quite a bit of time. You should be able to get done pretty fast, especially if you're just running, gunning as much as you can and not really stopping for anything else. I'll see you at the end of this one. And there we have it. I came in under 10 minutes. Again, pretty simple, straightforward. You just really got to be aggressive with your combat. Should be no problem. So with that done, let's go to the final speedrun. Alright, last chapter we need to speedrun. Come in here. We got to go all the way to chapter 20. This is the caravan one. So go ahead, play on easy difficulty, practice speedrun again, hit speedrun chapter. And as before, you just got to work on going quick. It's a lot of combat. You should have plenty of time. You need to do this in under 15 minutes. It's really not that bad. And then once you make it into that large combat area, again, just make sure you're being aggressive. And another tip I have for you, if you didn't try this in your playthrough, you can actually make it to that large door without killing all of the enemies in the area. So you can push through, as long as you don't die. There are a lot of enemies, but if you push through, don't die, you can make it to that door and slip through, and you don't have to destroy both of the trucks, you don't have to kill all of the enemies, just work your way to the end. And there we have it. That is the final speedrun trophy. 11 minutes was all it took me this time. Again, as long as you are just being aggressive, you can skip a whole lot of that combat section. You do not have to kill every enemy in that big combat area, and you should be able to complete that easily. So that is it for the speed runs. Now all we have to do is finish the cleanup, and the platinum is ours. Okay, so after we are done the speedrun trophies, now we just need to clean up the miscellaneous and combat trophies. And unlike previous games, there are a number of them to do. You should have gotten most of them done, like the 100 headshots, 50 hand-to-hand combat. I finished the 20 enemies while hanging with gunfire, 20 enemies shooting from the hip, 20 enemies killed from blind fire in cover. I think I've also gotten the 5 in a row headshots, 50 enemies meleeing from behind. We did the fish in the market. And the rest of them, I've gotten most of the weapon kills, but the 2 that I need are the Dragon Sniper and the RPG-7. I'll show you where to find those. All of the other weapons are super common in specific areas. Should be able to farm those pretty much as you were playing the game. If not, you can go to the chapters where you remember those weapons to be. But there are a number of miscellaneous ones that you may not have gotten. I certainly didn't. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. First things first, we're going to head to chapter 5, and we are going to do the trophy for killing 30 enemies in a row with a sidearm. That is going to be the first thing we accomplish. So let's go ahead. Let's go there again. Make sure you're playing on easy, and click start, and I will meet you there. All right, there we go. So I made it all the way to North Atwood by the time I got my 30 kills, but shouldn't take you too long. Once you do that, then we can go ahead and go to the next part. All right, so for the next trophy, we're going to head into Chapter 12, which is Abducted. Go ahead and, or not speedrun, sorry, campaign on easy. So we're actually going to use this mission twofold. And the first one's going to be right off the top. If you remember, Chapter 12 opens with the big brawl against all of the enemies. What we need to do, and you may have done it during the campaign or your first playthrough, rather, but you need to counter all of a brute's attacks without taking damage. And if you remember, at the end of this fight sequence, there is a brute. Alright, so now the brute spawns, and I'll show you, here's a quick little tip. If he does manage to hit you and you say, oh no, go ahead and hit the restart checkpoint button, and you'll restart right from the beginning of this section again. So, again, all of the buttons you need to press to avoid his attacks will show on screen. Just make sure you hit them properly, and this should be a pretty easy trophy. And once you take him down, you'll pop the Brute Beater trophy. So now we're going to move forward through the rest of the chapter, and I will see you in just a little while for the next trophy. Okay, so here we are in this area here in Chapter 12. Before we do anything else, if you need Dragon Sniper kills, I would recommend you get them now. Just because it's by far the easiest to do off of a fresh spawn instead of a respawn halfway through. What we are trying to do is we're trying to get up to the top of this without being seen, so we can stealth kill this guy. The reason we want to do that is if you look at his hand, he has a Tau Sniper in his hand, but if you stealth kill him, it turns into a Dragon Sniper. And the Dragon Sniper is exactly what we need. Now, the only annoying part about this Dragon Sniper is that you have to continue to restart the checkpoint, and you start up here again, so you have to sneak back over there again, over and over. It's not a huge deal. It only takes, maybe 30 seconds. But it is kind of annoying, so make sure you hit your shots with the Dragon Sniper so you don't have to keep doing this.
Oh, shit.
Alright, so after a fresh respawn, we're going to go ahead and grab RPG kills next, which I'm sure you're going to need just because there's not enough ammo throughout the game really to really get 30 total kills with them. So what we're going to do is pretty similar to what we just did with the sniper, except instead of killing the enemy, we're going to come up here to this platform. RPG right here, which we can pick up, gives us 2 shots. Go ahead and blast these 2 guys, and then we're going to start making our way over to the other one. There's actually 3 total RPGs in this level. Blast this guy while we're on our way. There's an RPG right here on this floating platform. So go ahead and pick that up. Try to get out of the way of that second turret before you fire it off. You can kill this sniper because he is pretty annoying. And now make sure you have enough health to run through here. This turret does chew you up, but if you have health and you are playing on easy, you can get to this rocket as well. This one has 3 in it, so try to make good use of them where you can. Actually head up here and blast this guy off the turret. Then you could just kind of, you might be able to even get a couple of kills up there, but as long as you're using all of your ammo, make sure you hit restart checkpoint again, and then do that over and over again. It should net you plenty of kills pretty quickly, and we can be done here in just a few minutes. And there we go. That is all 30 kills with the RPG. And that is every weapon for me done. And feel free to go and grind out the other weapons, but we can move on and get the final few of the game. Okay, so here we are in the next section that we need to do stuff in, or really it's just one thing. And I'm sure you can guess if you know this trophy exists. I'm sure you know what we're about to do. But we are getting ready to kill 20 enemies while swimming. You may have already killed some the first time you were here, but it is pretty straightforward. All you really need to do is just be in the water and shoot. You can use propane tanks and things like that. If it's easier for you, you can just restart the checkpoint to kill the same couple of enemies here. You only need 20, so it's really not that bad. You can also pick up, some of the enemies have the hand shotgun, the pistolas or whatever they are, which makes killing them obviously much easier. You don't have to headshot them, you just need to get close and shotgun them down from the water. There we go. That is finished. My strategy at the end there was, once I found one of the shotgun pistols, I just installed the ammo and kept restarting the checkpoint. And eventually you'll hit 20. So now we can leave at chapter 12 and go to the next one. For the next trophy, we are going to head to chapter number 15. And this one is for the riot shield. You have to run over the riot shield 5 times and kill the enemy from behind. There's a riot shield enemy that spawns right at the very beginning. That's why we're going to chapter 15, so we can keep doing that and just keep starting the checkpoint. There's not a ton of opportunity to do this in the base game, especially on crushing, just with how awful some of the enemies are. But we'll just go ahead and clear this out so I can kind of show you. You definitely don't have to clear out all of the enemies, but I want to do it just so, you know, just for the sake of the video, just in case you've never done this to one of the riot shield guys. So once you get him here, you're just going to want to shoot his shield until he's in that position, hit square to jump over top of him, and then take him down from behind like that, and you're just going to keep doing that over and over and over again. There we go. I had to do it 3 times. You may have to do it 3 or 4 times like I did, or 5 times if you didn't do it at all in the campaign. Either way, it is done now, and we can go to the next chapter, or the next section anyway. All right, next up, let's head over to chapter 16, which is one shot at this, and it is pretty quick into the level, so we won't have to go too far. All right, so you're going to find yourself on top of this building again, and if you remember, you can head over here, and you can actually take out some enemies from up top. What you want to make sure that you do is you can take out at least one enemy from or using stealth. You don't have to jump on them from the top, but obviously it is helpful. And that the other reason we do that is because you get a grenade, and the grenade is going to be useful. We need to kill 4 enemies with 1 explosion. There's going to be a jeep that comes in through here, and we are going to rush to the other side of the jeep so we can meet the enemies when they come out. We'll toss a grenade at their feet and hopefully kill 4 of them at once and pop the trophy. This is obviously a good spot to farm grenade kills as well. Here we go. Kind of line it up. The enemies will all jump out all at the same time. And unfortunately, we didn't get it. That's okay. Let's go ahead and restart. I'm going to try to wait a little bit longer. There we go. Now we had all 4 out of the truck. And that is it. Make sure you don't kill the rest of the guys. Don't kill everyone, because we still need to do a couple other things here. Again, you can farm grenade kills here if you need to. But I'm going to go ahead and restart the checkpoint for another trophy we need to get. So upon reloading the checkpoint, go ahead and climb on this crate. You'll see we're hanging. And now we can throw the grenade once the enemies kind of group up a little bit. They should hopefully group up nicely there. Hopefully we can get 2 or 3 per run. And then all you have to do is just keep resetting the checkpoint. You only need 10 of these kills, so it's not too bad. And there we go. 10 kills with the grenade while hanging, and Grenade Hangman is done. You can move on to the next part. Okay, let's go ahead and go all the way to chapter 22, so pretty much right at the end of the game. We're going to start easy campaign as usual. All right, so here we are at the start of the chapter. You are going to move up through this area, clear out the enemies as you can. Avoid shooting the enemies on this bridge. this bridge over here is not a problem. You can take that guy out. He's just going to be annoying. But don't kill the snipers. You don't need to.
No.
And they'll help you a little bit later. All you're going to want to do is clear out this room. There will be another enemy from the right here. And make sure you just take out this brute because he is pretty annoying. All right, with him dead, leave the enemies on the bridge and stand right here on this corner. Now the grenade will come in. You chuck it out towards the group of enemies. And if you can kill 2 with it, that is ideal. The only problem with this area is that if you kill too many enemies, restarting the checkpoint, as you can see, only sort of respawns some of the enemies here, which isn't great. Still can do this over and over again. Obviously, there's still a bunch of enemies. I think what we're going to do is we're going to move forward a little bit here. Actually, he threw that one really far, so we're going to move up here to try to make it a little bit easier too, which you can certainly do. They will still throw grenades at you, as long as you clear that other bridge. And there we go. I got throwback. I don't know. Did I get 2 at once there? We might have gotten 2 trophies. We did. All right. So there you go. If you're having trouble, you can always move up to this cart. Makes the grenade throw back a little bit easier as well. So just sit here and do this until you get 2 for 1 and you get 10 total. And then we can keep moving forward. And now we're going to grab the final 3 trophies of the game. We are going to head into chapter number 14, which is Cruising for Bruising. All right, here we are in this next area. The first thing we are going to do is to get the swap trophy. So what we need to do is we need to alternate between beating enemies and shooting enemies. So we just killed one with melee. Now we need to kill one with gunfire. And we need to do this 10 times. Well, really 5 times the combo, 10 total kills. But make sure that you don't accidentally punch somebody when you need to shoot them. Okay, there's that. So that's 4. Punch this guy, make it 5. There's 6. So make sure you remember which one you're on, because there will be enemies that spawn in between. So now we need to kill one with a gun. So what we're going to do is we're going to kill this big boy with a gun next, because he obviously is very difficult. And now we can go ahead and punch. And then we need one more. We'll pick up this gun just for fun. And there you go. Combat Leapfrog is ours. Try not to die, because we really want to stay alive here, if possible. And now, after Combat Leapfrog is done, we should, as long as you didn't die, we should be on our way to 75 kills without dying. That's the next goal. If you did die in that Leapfrog adventure, you can always restart the chapter and try to do it without dying. Alright, I just popped Survivor, 75 kills. It's not as clean in Uncharted 3 as it is in other games, just because you need so many kills. So make sure that you just do your best to play it slow, take it slow, play slow, I should say. Now we also want to kill 50 enemies in a row without auto-reloading the gun, which means you have to take shots at enemies and then reload before you run out of bullets. Make sure you do not run out of your bullets in your clip, and you're just constantly reloading, like so. And once you hit 50 enemy kills without auto-reloading, you will be you'll be done. All right, just to prove the point that it doesn't matter, you can continually restart checkpoints to farm this 50 kills without auto-reloading. I decided to load up Chapter 22 again, and I'm just going to sit here at this bridge. I'm going to continually restart the checkpoint with this M9 in my hand. And I will sit here and farm for however long it takes for me to get this trophy. So I will see you on the other side. And there we go. I sat here for a decent amount of time. But that is it. That is platinum earned. So congratulations. And that will do it for Uncharted 3. I hope that you all have enjoyed the original trilogy guides. If you did, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think of the guides in general across the channel. And if you did enjoy them, please be sure to share with your friends. Like the video, comment on all the videos, things like that. It really helps the channel grow. We're getting pretty close to 2,000 subs, which is insane. I'm really looking forward to hitting that milestone. And there will be plenty more guides on the way. I'm sure, as I mentioned in the intro, feel free to visit our website, www.platpursuit.com, if you're looking for a new way to track your trophies. I think it's a pretty awesome website, and I think you're going to like it. But until next time, thank you for watching. There will be more Uncharted guides on the channel. I definitely want to get to Uncharted 4 and 5, but I don't know exactly when that'll be. So make sure you're following for all those updates. If the guide is out, it'll be here on the screen. And until then, I've been Hunted, and you're watching Platinum Pursuit.